Hi friends, Miss Kristi here, and I am so excited to be together again cooking in the kitchen. Today we are learning how to make Vanilla Ritz Cookies. These cookies use just 3 ingredients, and we only need our microwave to melt the chocolate, and we'll make 5 cookies. We're gonna have fun making this together today, and I'm so glad you're here.
All is calm and all is bright tonight.
Now, the first step to cooking and working in the kitchen is to wash our hands. While I wash my hands with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds, let's go over the ingredients and supplies that you'll need to gather to cook along today. The ingredients you'll need are 10 Ritz Crackers, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, and 2 tablespoons of white chocolate chips. The supplies you'll need are a plate, liquid measuring cup, 1 tablespoon, 1 spoon, a butter knife, and parchment paper, which is optional. Okay, great. Your hands are clean and my hands are clean. We've gathered our ingredients and supplies, so let's get started making our Vanilla Ritz Cookies. These are a favorite in my house and they're really quick and easy to put together, so let's do this. First thing you wanna do is grab your plate and put it right down in front of you. And you're gonna wanna have your parchment paper if you're using it. So this is optional. Usually when it's optional, it helps to make cleanup easier. So that's why I'm gonna have it put it down. We do end up putting white chocolate on top, so if it happens to spill over, it doesn't stick to the plate as much as if you had parchment paper down. So if you're gonna use parchment paper, put that on top of your plate, and you can just put this right in front of you. We're gonna start putting things on it in just a second. But the next thing I wanna do is grab your liquid measuring cup. We're just melting chocolate in here, so I wanna get it ready. So grab your liquid measuring cup and place that right in front of you. And then you're gonna wanna grab your 1 tablespoon. This is the one that says 1 TBSP, it's the biggest one like this, and your white chocolate chips. Okay, now if you make this recipe and you don't like white chocolate, or you make it and you wanna try regular semi-sweet chocolate or dark chocolate, you can use any flavor of chocolate chips that you like. This is Vanilla Ritz Cookies, so we are using vanilla chocolate chips. And we need 2 tablespoons. So I'm gonna do 2 big tablespoons. Don't worry if you get a little bit extra, the more chocolate the better. So here's 1 tablespoon, and we're gonna put it right into our liquid measuring cup. And 2 tablespoons. Just like that. Keep this next to you, we're gonna use that. You can put your chocolate chips to the side, we're done with those. And now for your liquid measuring cup, just set that to the side too. I wanted to get our white chocolate chips measured before we put peanut butter on this and get it all dirty. So next thing you're gonna wanna do is grab your 10 Ritz Crackers. So I have 10 Ritz Crackers right here, and all I'm going to do is put 5 down on my plate, because those are gonna be the bottoms. So I just wanna have them ready. So I'm gonna put 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and leave the other 5 to the side. Those will be our tops, but we need to put the peanut butter on. So basically we're making like a peanut butter cracker, and then we end up putting white chocolate on it, popping it in the refrigerator to harden a bit, and it tastes so good. So now that we have our 5 Ritz Crackers down on our plate, we need to put the peanut butter on. So grab your peanut butter and your tablespoon again, and we need to just scoop out 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. So if you have a jar, just take your tablespoon, scoop out a spoonful of peanut butter, or you could use almond butter, you could use sun butter, whatever nut butter that you choose to like if you can't use peanut butter. We just need a tablespoon. So I'm gonna take a tablespoon of peanut butter, and then I'm going to grab my butter knife, because all we're going to do is spread this onto our crackers. Now, if you make this again and you know how much peanut butter you want, you don't have to measure your peanut butter. Again, I just like to know how many ingredients and how much of the ingredients that I need ahead of time. So we're using 1 tablespoon today, but you could always just take your knife and scoop it out. So all I have is my 1 tablespoon measured, and now I'm just going to put a little bit of peanut butter on the bottom of each cracker with my butter knife. And then I'm gonna set it right down on my plate. Now this is kind of a messy cookie, so if it gets everywhere, that's okay. It's still gonna taste really good. We just need to get peanut butter on the bottom of our 5 Ritz Crackers. So all I'm doing is taking a little bit of peanut butter out of my tablespoon, spreading it on. You might get peanut butter on your fingers from holding your crackers, and that's okay. Cooking can be messy. But like I said, if you make this again, you can always just take your butter knife and scoop it right out of the jar if you know how much peanut butter you want on your cracker. Some people like a little bit. If you find out you want more filling next time you make this, go ahead and add a little bit more peanut butter. All right, so now my 5 crackers have peanut butter on them. I can set my peanut butter to the side, I can set my tablespoon to the side, and you can put your butter knife to the side. We are done with all 3 of those. The next thing we're gonna do is just put the tops on. So usually with crackers too, you can see there's more of a flat side and there's more rounded side. It doesn't really matter, but if you wanna make sure you're putting the right side down, look for the flat side and put that right on top of your crackers. So we're just going to put the tops on to make these ready for when our chocolate is warm so we can pour it right over top. That's why we're getting them ready first. Chocolate tends to cool rather quickly, so I want all of this to be ready for when our chocolate is melted. All right, so now we do need to melt our white chocolate, and all we're gonna do is put this in the microwave for 30 seconds. I'm going to stir it once, and then we're gonna put it in for another 30 seconds. We'll talk about this at the microwave, but that's the plan. So I'm gonna grab my liquid measuring cup with my white chocolate chips and my spoon, because this is what we're gonna use to mix it in between, and we're gonna put this in the microwave for 30 seconds. All right, the first 30 seconds is done. So all I'm gonna do now is carefully take this out. It's not gonna be too hot. It was only in there for 30 seconds, but I am grabbing the handle because I know that's not gonna be hot to touch. And I'm just gonna take my spoon and I'm gonna give this a bit of a stir. Not much is going to happen because we still need to cook it for another 30 seconds, but we just wanna make sure that the bottom doesn't burn and we start to mix it up. You'll still see there's a bunch of chocolate chips in there, which will soon become all melted. But we need to put this in for another 30 seconds. So I'm gonna put this in for one more 30 seconds. It's a minute total. And once it's done, we'll take it out and we'll bring it back to our workspace and we'll finish our cookies. All right, friends, now I just took it out for the second 30 seconds and I'm going to stir it again. And now you can see that it's nice and creamy and melted and we don't have any more chunks of chocolate chips, and that's what we're looking for. And now we need to work a little bit quickly to get this on our cracker or cookie before it starts to harden. So all I'm going to do is take my spoon and gently guide it out. So I'm just holding the handle. This is another reason the liquid measuring cup is nice today. And all I'm gonna do is pour a little bit of chocolate on each cracker or cookie that we've made. I wanna just put a little bit on each, and if I have more, I will go back and add some more. But I wanna make sure we have enough chocolate for each cookie. And if you did this again, you could definitely make more of these. You would just need to make more chocolate, so maybe 3 tablespoons or a quarter of a cup. But for 5 cookies, we only need 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips. All right, and I have a little bit more, so I'm just gonna go back and add a little bit to some of these other ones. We don't wanna waste any precious white chocolate because it tastes so good. All I'm doing, and you just have to be a little bit patient to get it out. Try to keep it on the top of your cookie, but we do have the parchment paper down to protect our plate, kind of keep it clean. All right, once your chocolate is done, you can put your liquid measuring cup to the side. And now all I'm gonna do is take the back of my spoon, holding a cookie, just spread this out a little bit. I want it to cover the top of my cookie. If it spills over the edge, no worries. It's gonna taste good regardless. But the goal is to get all of that white chocolate on the top. And even if you made this again and you wanted to use more chocolate and pour it over and have it cover the sides, that is the joy of cooking for yourself in the kitchen. You can make choices and you can make it your own and you can try different things. This is just a basic guideline of how we make these, and from here you can try different flavors, different types of chocolate. Try new things. That's the joy of cooking for yourself in the kitchen. All right, if I was not teaching you right now, I would lick my spoon because white chocolate is good. but I'm not going to. You can put your spoon aside because we are done with that. And now all we need to do is put this in the refrigerator for a minimum of 10 minutes. Now you can put it in there for longer if you want that peanut butter to get really hard. The chocolate only takes about 10 minutes to harden in the refrigerator. So that's the minimum I'm gonna do today, but you can always put them in there a little bit longer if you want it to be a bit crunchier. So I'm going to set a 10-minute timer right here. Pop these in the refrigerator to let that chocolate harden, and as soon as this 10-minute timer goes off, we will take them out and give them a try. All right, here they go. All right, friends, this is exciting. My 10-minute timer just went off, so all I did was take out my plate from the refrigerator, and you can see that the chocolate has hardened up. Now again, if you want your peanut butter to get a little bit more hard, because this one is still creamy, you could keep it in there for longer, but if you're like me and you just want to taste the cookies and be done, you need at least 10 minutes, which is what we just did. But this is all, we have it, it's done. We only used 3 ingredients. We didn't even need our oven. We just popped our chocolate in the microwave to melt it. And now we have these 5 cookies that you can either share with a friend or family member. Maybe you have one every day for a couple of days, but you can make those choices when you cook for yourself in the kitchen. So either way, I do hope you try and make these or try and make them again. And when you do, let me know how it goes. I love getting to hear from you. Send me a comment. Let me know if you have any questions. You can even send me a picture of how your Vanilla Ritz cookies turned out. I would love to get to see your creation, and maybe we could share it next week. Now, speaking of next week, on next week's episode, which is episode 59, we're learning how to make crescent dogs. This small meal uses just 3 ingredients. It only cooks in our oven for 12 minutes, and we will make 4 crescent dogs. In order to cook along and make crescent dogs, these are the ingredients that you'll need to have in your kitchen for next week. 4 crescent rolls, 2 hot dogs, and 1 slice of cheese. Well, friends, our time together today is almost over. It went by so fast because this was such a quick cookie recipe, but I do hope you enjoyed learning how to make Vanilla Ritz cookies. I know I had fun, and I already can't wait to cook together again next time. But before you say goodbye to this episode, make sure to click subscribe if you haven't already. You just have to click the little picture of me in the corner. That way you don't miss next week's episode. It'll be out on Friday, and I'll see you then. Bye, friends. It's time to eat.